Good morning and welcome to today's episode. It is October 5th, 2020 in the Pacific time zone on a lovely, lovely morning. And it's not even light yet. It's always darkest before the dawn. Oh, that's a great lead-in to what I'm going to talk about this morning. Do you have people in your life who are a tornado through your life? Or are you a tornado through people's lives? Now, probably if you are a tornado through people's lives, you probably don't know it. And you're probably also not listening to this channel either. However, either way, there is such a thing as being a tornado through someone's life. And I know I have been to more than one person. And I have had to be okay with that and to apologize where it was appropriate to do so. And sometimes that apology is not a direct apology. In one instance, with two good friends of mine years ago, I mean, we're talking a very long time ago, thank God, almost 40 years ago, I was such a tornado through their lives that when I sat down and examined my behavior, as well as what to do about it, the best action for myself in regards to helping, in regards to the best thing I could do for them in terms of an apology, was simply to never, ever see them again or talk to them again. That was the extent of the damage that I did. So I'm not proud of that, but we all at some point or another have been a tornado through someone's life. We have a tornado going on right now in this entire country. And you can see the collateral damage. However, I want to get down to a really specific incident. Yesterday, a friend of mine who can be a bit of a tornado, we put a plan together to take a week and drive somewhere to spread her wife's ashes. And she's older, so she wanted somebody to go with her, and, you know, I was okay with that as long as she kind of paid for most everything. And it sounded like a good idea. It felt right. And once the initial idea was put across and I had said what my thoughts were in terms of the logistics, I said, okay, you know, we don't really have to worry about hotel rooms and stuff because it's obvious to me that people are not traveling. And so let's just think about it overnight. So later on in the afternoon, she sent me a text and about a logistic, and I didn't get back to her till late evening. And I just said, I think that based on the circumstances that we should take the freeway instead of going the back road of a 2-lane road, which would take longer. Even though that's always my preference, because I love 2-lane U.S. highways, state roads, where you can see more things. But I said, based on the circumstances, including COVID, including my physical stamina, I think it was a good idea to take the freeway. In which she proceeded to text me, and this is where it gets going, proceeded to text me that the whole, that I'm not going to do it, and that she has 2 other friends, and because they're not available, they're going to be available later. And I thought to myself, okay, I was trampled one more time by the tornado, because there were two takeaways out. Well, maybe there were even more. Let's just list the takeaways out of this. First and foremost, canceling without a phone call? I mean, that really is beyond inconsiderate. Secondly, mentioning alternative people, both of which have a lot more money than I do, so probably they're going to go on their own accord. But really, which, in a certain implication is, okay, now you want to go with, someone who's better off financially. And, I also made a lot of decisions about taking this time off, none of which I had taken action on. Well, one of which I had taken action on, which was to call a friend and say that we were going to be in the area and that I would love to get together. And now I'm going to need to call her and say that the trip is off. And I may actually even go, because I think it's appropriate to go see this person. And I was left with, okay, once again, a tornado. I've just been run over again. And I really feel the biggest part of this is the fact that I wasn't good enough for a phone call. So what do I do about that? Because I was pretty furious. By the time I got to bed last night, I was pissed. Just flat out pissed. And I said the whole Ho'oponopono prayer, the short version, and said that I would discuss it in the morning or in my writings. And in my writing this morning, I essentially said, one of the things that I said was, I said, I'm really okay with however the Ho'oponopono works itself out. However, for once, I am going to put my 2 cents in about it and just say, if possible, could you please extract this person from my life? Just extract this person from my life. There's a wonderful woman, I heard her years ago, and she said that one of the things that she had to reconcile with was how far of a distance she needed to be for someone to not quote unquote bother me or upset me. And she said it could be across town, it could be across the country, or it could be out of one's life completely. And I've always taken that to heart. How far away does someone need to be to not quote unquote doing something to me? And that's the whole point behind the Ho'oponopono, is to release that connection so that it can be whatever it is, whether it's out of one's life or whether it's just across town. But I did put in, I'm kind of over it. Why don't you see what you can do about having this person out of my life completely? But that was just a request. I know at the end of the day, I have to not direct the show, direct the universe's show in regards to stuff like this, and simply to pray for someone. God save me from being angry. This is a sick person I'm dealing with. How can I be helpful? Thy will, not mine, be done. So throw the question out. Where are you with this? Do you have a tornado in your life? And are you willing to sit down and do the prayer work so that you're both released from the energy and move on? That's what I'm doing with the United States right now. That's what I'm doing with society right now. That's what I'm doing with this person in my life right now. That's what I'm doing with the orange blob. Because I have to go into a state of, they're not doing it to me. I have to let their energies go. Thank you so much for listening. Merci beaucoup. Bonne journée.